It's a people, it's a community, it's a life, it's a heart, it's a spirit.
Parents of gay children say, I want my son, my gay son, to have the same opportunity to come to me and say, hey, Dad, I'm getting married, as my non-gay son or my non-gay daughter.
The heck would you want a picture of a tattoo of $1,000 on your penis for?
You might just need to satisfy yourself sexually alone at that point.
Do I regret it? Not one bit. Did I think that I would actually take it the next step and do it again?
And what goes into their life, how they handle it. There are 12 houses, and each one of those houses has a particular function.
Look into yourself, think about it, and just be whoever it is that speaks to you.
Hello and welcome to Talking About It. I'm Jon Griffith, your host. I happen to be on vacation, but occasionally when you're on vacation you meet some interesting people, and one of those persons is my guest today, Paul Stalbaum. You're part of a very unique group aboard the Valor today. You want to tell me a little bit about that group?
Basically, we are a group of both straight and gay people living with HIV. This is put together as an attempt to create a sense of community amongst both sexualities living with HIV, as well as give them an opportunity to socialize and to become a little bit more educated as we bring doctors and other lecturers on board the ship. So we hope to provide a well-rounded opportunity for them.
Okay, well, how long has this been going on? What is the official title of the event?
We call it the Paz Cruise Retreat, and this is actually the 10th year that it's been offered. The first 7 years of it was basically strictly for heterosexual people, and then a little bit later on, as I became more and more involved, we opened it up to become fully inclusive of people of all genders, all sexes, and we've also grown from our first year, which was about 50 people, to about 225 people this year.
So, and well, 10 years ago, was this started by you? Who started the whole event?
It was actually started by a heterosexual woman by the name of Sherry Kaplan, who had been diagnosed with HIV. She created it, came up with a great concept of being able to provide a social opportunity for people who are potentially embarrassed to come out about their HIV status, and here in an open environment where they know everybody else in the group is positive, it made it a very comfortable experience for them to meet and to socialize with other people.
Okay, and in addition to the social aspect of it, what do some of the participants take away from it? You mentioned some talks and discussions. Can you give at least one example of that?
Well, we've been very fortunate that every year we've been able to bring on at least one doctor and another guest speaker. We've had some very, very famous doctors who have been with us, like Michael Wolfeiler in Florida, and Charles Steinberg, Torkin Wayfield, who are from Colorado. And these are true experts in the field of HIV, particularly when it comes to dealing with explaining the new medications, what's down the pipeline. So they do a presentation. We have other people like Nelson Virgil, who do presentations on other aspects of living with HIV.
Okay, so, well, when you say other aspects, specifically like what?
Some of them could be related to side effects. Others are mental health, aging with HIV, just learning to live more comfortably with what many people consider to be a pariah. The leprosy of the 20th and the 21st century.
Okay, so well, in addition to the medical side, are there social discussions? Are there other types of issues covered also?
We offer lots of social activities in the sense that we have cocktail parties that are specifically for our group. We have shore excursions that we run for our group only, so that only people that are signed up with our group who are with HIV participate in this. It's not open to other people in the ships. And we had, like, for example, last night, we had a celebration of life as well as a candlelight memorial that was very well attended and very powerful and very emotional. And it helps, again, to create that sense of community. And I promise you, at the end of the cruise, we have such strong friendships that are developed that will last way beyond the 7 days on our ship.
Well, about the numbers of people that participate, what did it start with? How many people were in year 1 and how many people are involved now that it's year 10?
Well, first year, when it was only heterosexuals, there was about 50 people. Now it's up to 225, and the expectations for next year, quite frankly, will be probably between 300 to 400 or even more. The ideal goal, if it goes this way, is we would love to charter a ship. And have it totally exclusive to people with HIV, where everybody can be totally out about everything and not, necessarily be concerned about other people on the ship. As I've gotten more and more involved being a gay man, we found that there have been way more gay people that are becoming attracted to this. We still have a large contingent of heterosexuals, but gay people are really grasping onto it and finding it to be an amazing experience.
So, well, within the two communities, the heterosexual and the gay community that participate, are there different activities for each group as well as mixed activities?
Interesting question, because up until now it's been kind of mixed between both sexualities in all events, but we've decided last year, based upon input from the heterosexual community, that what we're going to do is pick the same cruise date but have two different groups that will also interact. So in other words, there'll be a welcoming cocktail party the first night for the gay group, and then another one at a different time for the heterosexual group. There will be combined activities, but in order to keep the heterosexual community feeling more involved and more cohesive, we want to be able to create events specifically for them and have events specifically for the gay community.
Okay, and the decision to do this is because of the growth, or is it because there was an underlying need, or a little of both?
It's actually a little bit of both, but what's happened, as I mentioned, the gay population has only been involved in it for 3 years. There's way more outlets to notify gay people or to spread word about events within the gay community relating to HIV. The heterosexual community, unfortunately, has far less outlets of where to go, where to learn information, where to find about social events. So because of the fact that there's more outlets, more and more gay men are jumping on board, so to speak, and heterosexuals are not as well informed. So we're going to really make a focus, a concentrated effort to work separately on putting the word out that there are two groups that will happen to be on the same ship, and hopefully increase the numbers of both people. Again, it's a sense of community, and I think that the more people we have, the bigger that bond and that community will grow.
I mean, I've had the opportunity to meet a good number of the people who are participating, and it's incredible. Everybody's so enthusiastic about it. Everybody's having such a good time. So it's not just the learning aspect, the talks and the seminars, and the intermingling. You have a lot of fun.
Yes, they absolutely do. In fact, we've kind of announced what we're doing next year, and so far dozens and dozens of people said that they want to sign up for it and they want to tell their friends about it. And really, that is it. It's the people having a good time, telling their friends, and word of mouth is really by far the best way of getting the word out about this.
So, well, in the past, have you done the outreach to get the word out? Primarily through internet, or just again word of mouth, or is there a specific website that you've got?
Well, before I became involved, it was strictly through an organization called the Center for Positive Connections, which is based in Miami. So it was really just their client base. When I got involved, particularly last year when I took it over pretty much exclusively, we created a lot of new opportunities activities. For example, we printed over 25,000 postcards, which were put out in stat-script pharmacies and doctors' offices throughout the country, community centers. We have a website. Next year, we have support from organizations like Walgreens Pharmacy that wants to become involved in this, as well as the fact of cross marketing. In other words, my website will be linked to other HIV websites, and the word, we really believe, will be spread so much greater that the potential of doubling the size of our group is really quite real.
So, and again, I can't believe how much fun people are having and how much people have told me that they've taken away from it. You did mention your website, so what is the web address of the site?
Okay, the website is really quite easy. It's www.hivcruise.com.
That's pretty simple to remember. Where do you want this to go? I mean, 5 years from now, should it still be necessary? What do you want it to be? You mentioned chartering an entire boat, but what do you want everybody to be walking away from the experience with now and then?
I think what I'm looking for is the friendships, the bonds that will develop from this. I know many people have said to me they've met people that live in other cities or maybe even in the same city that they have bonded with so strongly that they want to continue some kind of friendship and relationship. People have come up to me and said, can we do, like in 3 months, like a little reunion type of get-together? And it's that sense of friendship and love and respect and safety that everybody feels so comfortable with. We've had people that have actually met on board the ship that have formed partnerships where they have moved to live with each other. We've had weddings that have people have met and married, and even on this cruise itself, we had a proposal. One man asked a woman to marry them on the ship. So it's like an unbelievable, rewarding experience for me to play a role in bringing all these people together.
So it is truly incredible. So I mean, just not that you're facilitating that, but you're facilitating creating the atmosphere for people to have a safe environment without, I guess, disclosure is still an issue for a lot of people.
Yes.
And it creates an environment where disclosure isn't necessary. It's foregone, at least for the most part, because you are sharing the ship with 1,500 other people. But it helps, I'm sure.
It does help, and the reality of it is too, the ship does not know that we're an HIV positive group. They think of us as a social group. That's what it's booked as. So all the events that we do are done behind closed doors with privacy, so that nobody is outed and everybody can feel comfortable knowing that the people in that room are all HIV positive and in the same situation as they are. And again, that creates that safety net that keeps it very comfortable for people.
Okay, so there is an element of privacy for participants. They don't, the entire ship doesn't need to know that there's a common medical issue. It's just known as a social group. So you have a certain amount of security with the rest of the ship as well as within the group. So the disclosure is not necessary within the group, and it's not disclosed to the rest of the ship.
Exactly. And I guess maybe I should say, I've been positive for 25 years. I'm an HIV counselor. I've started up several support groups, and unquestionably the most important thing to people is disclosure. And again, we create a safety net here that allows them to be themselves, knowing that everybody else in the group is dealing with the same conditions, the same social issues that they have, and it just lets the barriers down so they can really be themselves without any issues or any separation.
Okay, so what's a typical day like on board one of the cruises? Is it a mixture of activities? Say a day at sea where you can have more activities on the ship, and obviously the days in port you have some of your excursions and maybe a seminar or two. But a day where you're actually focusing within the ship, what's a typical day like?
Okay, well, first of all, the ship always offers activities, and we never want to prevent our people from participating in those. That's part of the vacation. This is their vacation as well as an educational experience, and we want them to put into it and get out of it what they want. But let's say, for example, in our days at sea, it generally starts out with a lecture or a workshop from one of our doctors who does a presentation on the latest trends in medication and what's down the pipeline. Then the rest of the general afternoon will be at leisure, fun around the pool, just guys hanging out, having a good time. Then there'll generally be a late afternoon lecture, and then dinner together. We always have dinner together, which again is a great unifying event for the people on the ship. In the evenings, there's always something to do that the ship offers, but again, we offer fun and game things like an R-rated dating game or newlywed game. We give prizes out to people this year we're selling over Halloween, like we will be doing next year. We had Halloween contest, which I think for many people was the highlight of the trip. It was just so much incredible fun, and we do give out prizes for events, whether they win the dating game or the Halloween costume. It's just a lot of fun. And I'm sorry, and as you mentioned, we do offer our own private shore excursions, which is a major event for the people. It's strictly our group. We charter buses or boats to take us snorkeling, and the people just have an amazing time, bonding on an event like that.
So, well, in addition to your own private events, people aren't locked completely into your events. They can also take part in the ship's events also.
Correct. And as I said, we don't want to force anybody to do something. Some people will attend every single event and get great value of it. And others just want to be somewhere where they can get away from work and just have that relaxing vacation. And it's like a re-energizing experience for all of us. And as Nelson Virgil, says, that we all have to live with our daily regimen, whether it's taking pills or going to our therapy groups. This is an opportunity to recharge and to reaffirm our commitments to our lives.
Okay, well, again, it is such an honor to talk to you. I really thank you for doing this interview with me.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So, again, the website is
www.hivcruise.com.
Okay, and my website is www.talkingabout.info. I'm Jon Griffith, and I thank you for joining me. I will see you next time, and I'm just going to head over to the pool because I need to jump in there really soon. Thanks again.
Thank you.